10th edition has just been officially announced, and I, for one, am incredibly excited for it. Now, I haven't seen this trailer yet. For all I know, it's Tyranids and Ultramarines, but other than that, I know next to nothing. Personally, for me, I'm really, really hoping for a new Carnifex model. Like, old One Eye needs an update so badly. You see, I'm not just excited for this just because it's a new edition, I am also an avid Tyranids player. And now that we got that out of the way, let's look at this new edition. Fairly standard start. There is Ultramarines. Is that Gilliman? That is
Victory.
Gilliman.
That is what the preachers cry from the spires of their temples.
Nice voice, I like that.
What commanders tell the soldiers in their service. The Indomitus crusade meets with triumph after triumph.
Wow, okay.
Day by day we tear Imperium Nihilus from the despoiler's grip. And though we are beset on all sides, with each battle
yes.
we drive back the mutant, the heretic, the alien.
Yes! Oh, beautiful.
As I speak these words, our forces engage the remnants of Leviathan.
Oh, that's cool. That is very Jurassic Park-esque. Oh, I love that. Flesh Borers, nice.
Reclaiming lost worlds, atoning for old shames.
Oh,
a crusade
was that a
to
Strangleform
cleanse the
cannon that did that?
stars. Taking the
Whoa,
fight
what was-
to the enemy.
Is that's a Scream Killer! That's great! Okay, new Dreadnought, hopefully? No, it's not Dreadnought. But the Screamer Killer, that is exciting. Nice.
We routed the Tyranids at Baal. We broke their hive fleet.
Tech Marine.
Soon, their
Oh no,
foulness
Apothecary
will be but a memory.
Lictor? Yes, Lictor!
Is what the preachers say.
Oh man, that Apothecary's done. He's done. Totally got again, sorry. What was that? Gene Stealers?
Relief
Okay.
will not save us. Lies will not protect us.
What is this beacon?
But it is our hope
Oh.
that will damn us.
Yeah, Terminators. Yes! Nice. Yeah, there's the librarian. What the hell was that?
In the spires and the slums.
Okay, is that Swarmwood? Not Swarmwood, Wow, okay, man. Sporocyst? Something like that, anyway. Oh, Psycho variants! Is that Doom of
We will
Malantine?
sing of victory. Victory as the galaxy burns.
Could that be Doom of Malantine? Like, if that is, oh my god,
Victory
I've been waiting for that for
as
so
the
long.
Imperium rots around us. Victory as humanity rages against the dying of the light. Victory.
Awesome. Okay. That's great. Now, my immediate thoughts are just, wow. that is incredible. I really hope that's Doom of Melantai. It probably isn't, but the fact that it might be in my mind is blowing my mind right now. Now, Space Marines, they look fine, but in my opinion, and yes, I'm a little bit biased, Tyranid stole the show with this. So now that we've had a good look at what is going on in 10th edition, let's have a look at these individual segments to really pull apart what is going on. So opening up, we got Gilliman talking about his recent victories against Abaddon the Despoiler, and how the Indomitus Crusade has been going extremely well for the Imperium. With the shot of the galaxy and the warp rifts that tear between them, he also talks about how they are beset at all sides, mainly by that of the Tyranids. And we are immediately put into the action with a Phobos armoured Space Marine tearing apart a Tyranid. It's a little bit hard to tell because I think it's been split open so much that it just looks bigger than it actually is. I believe it's a Hormigaunt. In the next scene, we get a shot of several Termagants running through the jungle at night. Not much to add here other than the fact that this is an incredible shot that looks very Jurassic Park inspired, and I absolutely love that fact. What is important though is the new Space Marine Flamers that are shown here. The only Flamers that we previously had are the Firstborn ones, so having the Primaris Flamers is a very good addition. In the next scene we see a Space Marine that I believe has been affected by Strangleform Cannon, which is essentially a cannon that makes you stay put in place whilst Rippers or Nids eat at you whilst you're still alive. However, that's not very important. What is important is the fact that we get Screamer Killers back into the game. For those unaware, Screamer Killers are a form of Carnifex that have a very, very old model line. And I've got to be honest, they look silly then, and they still look silly now. But that doesn't matter. When its Godzilla breath hits that Space Marine, it's awesome nonetheless. Now that I'm looking back on it, I can see that the Space Marine actually looks like to have a combi flamer. Essentially looks like a bolt rifle infused with a flamer. Now I don't know how that's going to play out on the tabletop, but I think that's going to be an extremely interesting option to bring, as not only will you have the range of the rifle, you'll also have the close range capabilities of the flamer. Now a very big mistake I made was thinking that this was a Tech Marine, whereas in fact it's an Apothecary, and I believe it's in Gravis armour. However, for me personally, this wasn't the highlight of the scene, the fact that Lictors are back. Lictors are essentially the scouts of the Tyranids. They are sent out way before any of the main fleet arrives, but what they do is essentially dig into your brain with those tendrils and read it. This will give them all kinds of information, such as what their strategy is going to be, their tactics, who's their leader, where are they stationed, and for the poor Apothecary, he's not going to make it out of this. Any information that he had was given to the Tyranids. All in all, extremely exciting and very cool. Now this next scene is the major battle of the CGI short, and in it we see a lot of what we've already seen. However, there is one Tyranid bioform that I can't quite recognise. I know it's completely different, it's like a mini artillery form of Tyranid. I've seen artwork for it, I just cannot remember its name, so if you do know its name, please let me know in the comments down below. Now this next scene is very blink and you miss it, so it's very confusing as to what it may be. I believe it might be a Gene Stealer, though it could be just a regular Hormigaunt. However, if you put it in slow motion, I do believe it's a new Gene Stealer. As you can see in the still frame I took, it looks very different to all the other Tyranids. Very short, bulky, very little tail, although it still could be a new Hormigaunt. After all, they have changed a bit. However, the main thing that you note with Gene Stealers is that they have 6 limbs, and in this it looks like it only has 4. So I'm going to say it's plausible that it's a Gene Stealer, but it's also just as likely to be a Hormigaunt. Now I didn't recognise it immediately, but this is a homing beacon. This is to allow units to deep strike, or in this case teleport down to the surface safely, and whilst this isn't used for the standard frontline troops, this is used for another type. Yes, Terminators are remodelled and they are stunning. From this we can see that there's a Terminator captain followed by his squad of other Terminators, and then the squad is saved by a new Librarian, at which point he glances across the battlefield and sees a new bioform of Tyranid. This to me looks like a variation on the Haruspex, maybe a smaller version, maybe quicker as well. The Haruspex is essentially a massive vacuum for the Tyranids. If Tyranid invasion has been completed or is near its completion, Haruspex will be sent down to gobble up any biomass that they can, and they do this at an insane scale. It might be that these guys are sent before the Haruspex whilst the battle is ongoing so that they can consume biomass and convert it into new warriors. Now looking back on this, I think I made a bit of a mistake. I don't actually think this is a Hive Tyrant now that I look at it. See, there is one thing from the rumours I completely forgot about, and that is the fact that Shrikes might have been added, which would make sense. The Swarmlord and Hive Tyrant models aren't really that old and still look very decent, but it's more the fact that he managed to rip a Terminator in half. That's the impressive thing to me. These guys are essentially Tyranid warriors with wings, so I'm just curious as to where they will be going with this on the tabletop. As the hordes of Tyranids are being kept at bay by the Ultramarines, a new bioform, a very exciting new bioform appears. Now immediately when seeing this I thought, oh, new Sporocyst, but no. This is in fact, in my opinion, the Doom of Melantai. The Doom of Melantai is an extremely powerful psyker that was genetically made to ensure its victory victory against the craft world of the Eldari. The craft world of Melantai was keeping Tyranids at bay for a while, up until this new zoanthrope appeared. This zoanthrope did not feed on biomass, it fed on the souls and psychic essence of other psykers. This meant that when it landed on Melantai, it didn't just kill a few hundred of the Eldar, it killed every single one of its population. Think about it, that's a continent-sized starship. And if this is the Doom of Melantai, this poor librarian had no chance against it. And you can kind of see it in this, where his soul just kind of flickers out of existence. If this is the Doom of Melantai, and I sincerely hope it is, this is an incredible addition, and one that I've been waiting for years to see. If not, it's probably another variation on zoanthropes, but either way, it's still cool to see. And finally, we cut to a final shot of Guilliman overseeing worlds that are falling to the Tyranids one by one. The fourth Tyrannic War has begun. And with the lion now waking, who knows where this will go. Overall, this is an incredibly cool trailer. I'm extremely excited to see what they're going to be bringing to the model line. And if you can't tell, I'm just so excited. If that is the Doom of Melantai, I'm immediately getting it. But let me know what you thought of this trailer. Were you expecting what you saw, or were you expecting a few different things? For me personally, I was expecting an old One-Eye model to appear. However, even though I didn't get what I wanted, it's still an incredible thing to see. Now, I do hope you enjoyed this reaction and breakdown of what we just saw. If you enjoy Warhammer content in general, then why not consider liking, subscribing, and even commenting on this video. I've got another video planned and it's going to be coming out in a few days, however I'm still working on it because I've been a bit ill recently. However, until that next video appears, I thank you so much for watching and have a good one.